Sa gitna ng katahimikan ng isang Lunes ng umaga, isang malungkot na balita ang dumating mula sa puso ng Vatican. Isang balitang tila bumalot ng bigat sa buong simbahang Katolika at sa milyon-milyong mananampalataya sa buong mundo. Pumanaw na si Pope Francis. Sa edad na 88, tuluyan nang bumalik sa tahanan ng Ama ang Santo Papa matapos ang kanyang pakikipaglaban sa sakit. Una, isang matinding pneumonia at kalaunan, isang stroke na nauwi sa hindi na maibabalik na pagpalya ng puso.
Over 1 billion Catholics around the world in mourning for the late Pope Francis. The 88-year-old pontiff died on Easter Monday, 4 weeks after ending a lengthy hospital stay due to double pneumonia. Our correspondent, Mai Muling Tapang, joins us from Rome for an update. Mai, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, Karen. So today, Pope Francis' body was placed inside a coffin at the chapel of Casa Santa Maria in the Vatican at exactly 8 p.m. Rome time. The ritual was led by Cardinal Kevin Farrell, Camerlengo of the Holy Roman Church, joined by Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re, Dean of the College of Cardinals, and close family members. Also present were health officials, Dr. Andrea Arcangeli and Dr. Luigi Carpone. So I was there a couple of hours ago, and Filipino faithfuls in Rome were among those deeply saddened by the news, remembering Pope Francis as a fatherly figure who embraced migrant communities with warmth and humility. So the canonization mass, meanwhile, of Blessed Carlo Acutis, initially set for Sunday, April 27, has been temporarily postponed due to the passing of Pope Francis. And according to Matteo Bruni, director of the Holy See Press Office, the Pope's remains are expected to be transferred to St. Peter's Basilica on Wednesday, April 23, where public masses and prayers will be held. Karen?
Mai, let's talk about in effect, the last will and testament that Pope Francis left. Essentially, it focused on how he would want to be buried. But number one, you talked about, as he was laid to rest, the coffin. The coffin in itself was unadorned, extremely simple.
So I have yet to see the coffin. So the public viewing is set on Wednesday. So I haven't been in I haven't been to the chapel yet. But according to the spiritual testament of Pope Francis, dated June 29, 2022. In this brief yet heartfelt document, the Pope expressed his enduring faith and humility. So, and in accordance with his wishes, Pope Francis requested a simple burial at the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome, foregoing the traditional papal burial customs.
On that note, Mai Muling Tapang, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
The death of Pope Francis marks the end of a 12-year-long papacy, which he spent tirelessly to speak out for the marginalized and push for reforms and inclusivity in the Catholic Church. Zen Hernandez reports.
The somber tolling of St. Peter's Basilica's great bell, known as Il Campanone, echoed throughout the Vatican to announce the passing of the Pope. Soon, church bells all over Rome joined in. Last February 14, Pope Francis was admitted at the Gemelli Hospital in Rome for bronchitis. Although the pontiff had repeatedly battled and hurdled respiratory health issues, this time it developed into pneumonia on both lungs. He didn't stop working at the hospital. During his first 2 days, he made video calls to the Holy Family Parish in Gaza, led by an Argentine priest. The Pope gave in to his illness. He was 88 years old.
Carissimi fratelli e sorelle, con profondo dolore devo annunciare la morte del nostro Santo Padre Francesco. Alle ore 7:35 di questa mattina, il Vescovo di Roma Francesco è tornato alla casa del Padre. La sua vita tutta intera è stata dedicata al servizio del Signore e della sua Chiesa. Ci ha insegnato a vivere i valori del Vangelo con fedeltà, coraggio e amore universale, in modo particolare a favore dei più poveri ed emarginati. Con immensa gratitudine per il suo esempio di vero discepolo del Signore Gesù, raccomandiamo l'anima del Papa Francesco all'infinito amore misericordioso di Dio uno e trino. Grazie.
Pope Francis, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio on December 17, 1936, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, was the first pope from South America and the first non-European pope in over 1,200 years. The eldest of 5 children of an Italian immigrant father and an Argentine mother, he worked as a bouncer, janitor, and as a chemical technician, for which he earned a diploma. At the age of 21, he contracted severe pneumonia, which required the excision of a part of his right lung. His recovery from the life-threatening episode of his life became a major turning point, as he then entered seminary and joined the Society of Jesus as a novice in 1958. He was named Auxiliary Bishop of Buenos Aires in 1992, Archbishop in 1998, and Cardinal in 2001. In 2013, the world was shocked by the resignation of Pope Benedict XVI, and in a papal conclave, Cardinal Bergoglio was elected as the new pope by 115 cardinal electors. He was the first to take the papal name Francis in honor of the humble saint from Assisi, known for his devotion to the poor. As the leader of the Catholic Church, this also became the main theme of Pope Francis's work, who became known as the People's Pope. In his over 40 international trips, he prioritized many small countries in Europe, Africa, and Asia. In 2015, he became the 3rd Pope to visit the Philippines. He presided a Mass at the Manila Cathedral and motorcaded throughout Manila, where an estimated 6 million Filipinos lined the streets. But even more unforgettable was the Pope's Mass in Tacloban Airport, which, although short and met by bad weather, was very meaningful for the victims of Typhoon Yolanda. Pope Francis also repeatedly condemned the wars of Russia in Ukraine and Israel in Gaza, and became one of the strongest voices calling for peace. He also called for compassion for refugees and rebuked the mass deportation of illegal immigrants by the Trump administration in America, saying that it damages the dignity of people who only left their land for reasons of extreme poverty, exploitation, or persecution. The Catholic Church also became more inclusive under Pope Francis. In 2023, he approved a Vatican ruling allowing blessings for same-sex couples. Pope Francis also focused on the issue of sexual abuse in the Church. In 2019, he called a bishops' summit to discuss the problem and instituted a law requiring all dioceses worldwide to act on and investigate cases of sexual abuse. Based on Vatican tradition, the papal ring and seal are smashed upon the death of a pontiff to mark the end of his reign. The burial takes place 4 to 6 days after his death, while the Church observes 9 days of mourning called Novem Diales. The Pope's remains will no longer be displayed in a raised platform, however, since based on the new funeral rites of the Vatican, signed by Pope Francis himself in April 2024, for Pope Francis, the changes was necessary to better express the faith of the Church in the risen Christ. It also emphasizes that the Roman pontiff is not a person symbolizing power, but a pastor and a disciple of Christ. Zen Hernandez, ABS-CBN News.
Ngunit, sa kabila ng sakit, kapansin-pansin na sa mga huling araw ng kanyang buhay, pinili pa rin niyang bumalik sa Vatican, bumalik sa kanyang tungkulin, kahit gaano man ito kabigat para sa kanyang kalagayan. Isang paalala ng klase ng leader, siyang naging taus-pusong naglilingkod. Tahimik ngunit matatag, pagod man ay hindi sumusuko at sa huli nanatiling tapat hanggang sa kanyang huling hininga. Ayon sa Vatican, si Pope Francis ay inihayag na pumanaw alas 7:35 ng umaga. Isang simpleng pahayag mula kay Cardinal Kevin Farrell ang nagpakilala ng sandaling iyon. Ang obispo ng Roma, si Francis, ay bumalik na sa tahanan ng Ama. Ang buong buhay niya ay inilaan sa paglilingkod sa Panginoon at sa kanyang simbahan. Mga salitang simple pero napakalalim ng kahulugan. At sa kanyang kahilingan, hindi ingranding libing ang kanyang ninanais. Bagkus, hiniling ni Pope Francis na mailibing sa ilalim ng lupa sa St. Mary Major Basilica, isang lugar na mahalaga sa kanya, kung saan naroroon ang kanyang paboritong imahe ng mahal na Birheng Maria. Wala ring engranding epitaph. Isusulat lamang ang isang salitang may bigat na hindi matatawaran, Franciscus. Sa panahon ng kanyang pamumuno bilang Santo Papa, naging boses siya ng mga walang boses, tahanan ng mga itinakwil at gabay ng mga naliligaw. Siya ang Papa na hindi natakot magpakumbaba, yumakap sa sugat ng mundo at nagturo ng pagmamahal na walang kondisyon. Mula sa mga mahihirap na komunidad hanggang sa mahihirap na usapin ng simbahan, lagi siyang naroon, nakikinig, nagsasalita, kumikilos. Hindi na bago sa atin ang kanyang mga problema sa kalusugan. Matagal na rin itong pinagdadaanan ng Santo Papa. Matatanda ang bata pa lamang, siya ay inoperahan na sa baga, kung saan tinanggal ang isang bahagi nito. Kamakailan lamang ay isinugod siya sa ospital ng 5 linggo dahil sa double pneumonia, isang delikadong kondisyon para sa isang matanda, lalo na sa may dati ng komplikasyon sa baga. Ngayon, sa pagpanaw ni Pope Francis, isang malaking tanong ang nakabitin. Sino ang susunod? Sino ang magiging gabay ng simbahan sa panibagong yugto nito? Ngunit sa ngayon, hindi iyon ang pinakamahalaga, sapagkat sa sandaling ito, ang mas nararapat ay katahimikan, pagninilay, at pasasalamat. Pasasalamat sa isang leader na hindi kailanman humingi ng atensyon, ngunit naging sentro ng pag-asa para sa marami. Sa isang taong pinili ang kababaang loob kaysa kapangyarihan. Sa isang Santo Papang nagturo na ang simbahan ay hindi dapat maging tore ng ivory, kundi isang tahanan para sa lahat, lalo na sa mga nawawala, nasasaktan at tinatanggihan ng lipunan. Habang inihahanda ang kanyang labi para mailipat sa St. Peter's Basilica sa mga darating na araw, marami ang nagsisimula ng magluksa. Ilang bansa na rin ang nagdeklara ng National Days of Mourning. Ngunit sa puso ng maraming Katoliko, hindi ito pagtatapos. Isa itong pagbabalik tanaw at pagpapatuloy. Dahil ang iniwan niyang halimbawa ay hindi matatapos sa kanyang kamatayan. At sa kanyang huling hiling, isang libing na simple, walang engranding palamuti, walang mahahabang parangal. Doon pa lalo natin makikilala ang tunay na pagkatao ni Pope Francis. Isang pastol na pinili ang magpakumbaba hanggang dulo. Isang leader na nagsilbi hindi para maghari, kundi para magmahal. Franciscus, isang pangalan, isang alaala, isang buhay na humubog sa simbahan at patuloy na magbibigay liwanag sa marami kahit wala na siya.